All right. Introduce video.
Yo, what's up, clan? I don't know what. No, I can't. I don't want our fans being clan.
Not.
What's up,
What's up, you crazy killer clan?
crazy killer Ku Klux Klan? Um, so we're going to be talking about the most anticipated, the very best things that are coming out potentially in 2021, but probably won't. And to be honest, we weren't really excited for any of this. But
I think we have to specify that the games and movies we're going to talk about may not come out in 2021.
they probably won't come out at all.
But yeah, do you want to talk about games or movies first?
I was going to say movies.
Movies. All right.
I made like a general list, but I didn't know if you wanted to do like pick three, and then honorable mentions or some shit.
Yeah, that's for me. I have like a top three, and then other ones that I like or like
All
I'm
right,
interested.
hit me with your.
So,
We're doing this like kind of funny, you know. We're like
because we're really cringy, sellout journalists.
yeah, exactly.
This
Just a
isn't.
quick side note. I don't want this to be a thing, but they put up like a list of like, what's hi guys, here's what's coming up in Kind of Funnies 2021, and we want you to be a part of that with us.
Oh,
Give us money. They basically laid out loads of Patreon goals.
yeah.
That was basically, if we hit $22,000, we will review these films. If
What?
we get $50,000, we'll one of us will do a video essay on the Arkham series. And it's like,
That
you're
sounds.
supposed to make content anyway.
Yeah,
The fuck are you talking about?
that's really fucking like that. I actually think that's really gross
I think that's great. It's scummy.
because
Like,
they're not working hard anyway. Really, they're like.
all I can
you
hear
hear
is someone
that?
shouting in
Yeah.
the background. Is that Ellie?
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing.
Of course it is.
Like, they should just be making shit anyway. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
reviewing
so
a
for example-
movie, they just sit down and talk.
So they do this thing like series in review where it's like they talk about, and they were like, oh, if we get $20,000, we'll review the John Wick series. We'll do like Pixar in review. People want content anyway. Like, so what are you saying? If you didn't hit any of this, you weren't going to do any of it.
You're basically
Like,
blackmailing your audience at that point.
Essentially, I know like they've done stuff like this in the past where that money was for charity,
That's
but this is just
that's
going
fine.
straight to them. This time,
That's gross.
yeah.
Like,
But anyway, it's not about them. It's about us.
I could go on for hours about why that's really gross, but yeah, let's just talk about the movies we're excited for this year.
Okay,
My-
hit me with your third film.
My third. Ooh. Third most anticipated. This is a total like really weird one. Because my first instinct was like Dune. I was super excited for, but that might not even come out this year. So, I'm actually really interested to see Steven Spielberg's West Side Story.
Oh, okay.
Steven Spielberg's doing a West Side Story like remake, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I'm just really interested to see it. Like, there's no trailer or anything at the moment.
There's like some set photos. Isn't
Yeah.
there? Like a screenshot.
Yeah, I forget who the leads in it are, but I know Ansel Elgort's in it, I think.
Oh.
So, but I love like musicals and shit. Like, and I
Yeah.
was watching Grease the other day, and I was like, God, you're never gonna have stuff like this anymore. Like that sort of perfect mix of like, just like campiness and like, but like really nice songs.
Do you think, because obviously it's gonna, I kind of hope he does shoot it in a way that does harken back to like the older days of musicals or like the original West Side Story. I don't want it to look super modern.
No, that's why I'm glad it's being done by Spielberg. You know, he may be a pedophile, he may be not. Like,
Who knows? We're not here to discuss
not here to
that
judge.
right
Well, okay, I might judge a little bit, but we don't know. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. I just think it'll be a really interesting movie to see.
No, that's quite a good pick actually, because I saw I watched a video the other day that was about like the music in Cat.
Yeah.
Like the stage play, the stage musical, and the god awful abomination that was Tom Hooper's film
Yeah.
version, about how like the music was just like demolished in that film. And
That
he
movie.
brought up about West Side Story, and I didn't even know it was being done by Spielberg. But he also mentioned that Spielberg wanted to direct a Cats animated musical film.
Really?
And the concept art, it looks like the same kind of animated styling as like the Aristocrats and stuff.
That would have been pretty cool.
Like proper classic Disney, like, but you know, really old Disney hand drawn style. It looked fucking awesome. And instead, we get like Rebel Wilson's furry butthole and shit like that. Like,
Yeah, that movie genuinely makes me sick watching it. Like
I haven't even seen it, but I really want to.
I haven't seen the whole thing. I've just like had it. It's been on TV and I've put it on, and after like 5 minutes, I have to turn it off. Not because it's just bad, but because it makes me so physically uncomfortable.
It's really ugly. Like, it's
Disgusting.
horrible. Even like I watched a video that was like talk about how bad it was, and it was like not just the VFX bad, but like the fact that it's so inconsistent. Like there's little cockroach characters that genuinely, from one shot, they're the size of a cockroach. In the next shot, they're like the size of a coffee mug. And then in the next one, they're like the size of a human. And it's like, what's happened here?
It's just bad filmmaking.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I like that pick. That's quite different, actually.
Do you want me to go through my top three and then you do yours, or do you want to do your top three or your third now?
Go. So do. What's your second?
All right. So my second is, I think this is going to be one that's on your list as well. The Green Knight,
Ah.
David Lowery. I fucking love King Arthur lore. I know you do too. It looks really cool. Obviously David Lowery did some cool stuff like Ghost Story, which is awesome. The Old Man and the Gun.
Yeah.
I just think it looks fucking awesome. Looks dope.
I mean, yeah, that was gonna be. I didn't know. I kind of sprung the whole tiering it at the last second because I just had a massive list. And I was like, maybe we should cut it and put them in order. I would have said Green Knight would be like my number one.
Okay.
I've been waiting for that film for fucking ages because I remember when they first put out a teaser, like 2 years ago, and they said that David Lowery was doing it, and then the full trailers came out last year and it looked awesome.
Yeah.
It just looks so unique, and
like,
so like.
There's almost
He's like
nothing.
an auteur. Like a lot of these new directors, like Ari Aster and him, and like
There's nothing to
they've
compare it
definitely
to.
yeah, they've got this new generation of like cinema that they're bringing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it survives. You know, like how everything's going at the moment. Because you've got like stuff like the big films are all coming to like the streaming services. Like Soul was put on Disney Plus for nothing. Wonder Woman 84. If you're already a member of HBO, you got that. Like. I just hope that these films get picked up and they're not just left to rot. Because, I mean, it's an A24 film as well. Like, it's going to be good, and they've had so much time now to like rework it if they wanted to.
It's just A24 movies specifically. Like, lots of them are so good, but it's so hard to get people to watch them.
Yeah.
But
I mean, most of their like big profile ones. I think of like Hereditary, was that A24?
yeah,
And that was like the first massive thing that they had out for quite a while.
yeah.
In cinemas. And then like Midsummer didn't do as well.
But also wasn't as good though. So
That's very true. To me, like Midsummer was just Wicker Man. Like
yeah, just Wicker
Man
Man.
and crying.
Yeah.
How many times can you cry?
How many times can characters cry and have horrible shit happen to them in a movie?
Yeah. But yeah, no, Green Knight. I'm really looking forward to it. And I know a lot of people didn't like Ghost Story. I know you and me loved it. Like that film puts me into a different world when I watch it. Like even when I think about it, I feel so sad.
It's such a like weird mood of a movie.
Yeah, like you end up feeling like the character.
Yeah, like if you're
like ethereal and shit. So cool.
It's cool. But yeah, to cut to the. So I'm sort of tied between two movies for my number one pick. So I don't know if that's cheating if I can just say them both.
Yeah, fuck it.
Nobody. The Better Call Saul goes nuts.
John Wick.
Because
Better Call John.
I love the John Wick movies, and we're not getting one of those this year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And this looks like it's going to be awesome.
Is it by the director or the producer of John Wick?
I think it's a producer. I don't know who's actually directing it.
I'll look it up. Just see.
But I mean, I just love that style. Like, it looks like it has more of an actual like plot than John Wick does. At least the first one. Like, not that.
Yeah, because I guess John Wick, in hindsight, they ended up adding a lot more to the world behind John himself.
Yeah.
Whereas the first one was just a typical revenge story.
Yeah, like I think that's
right.
why the John Wick movies actually get better as they go on.
Yeah. Oh, so it's written by the guy who has done John Wick 1, 2, 3, 4 coming up, and 5 coming up. Yeah, so, and a bunch of episodes of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. But it's been directed by the guy who did Hardcore Henry. Which,
oh, really?
I know a lot of people didn't like that film, but for what it was, I think it was kind of cool.
It is actually a really cool movie. I wouldn't say it's good.
No.
But like,
it's very...
It's done very well.
Yeah. For being a first person... It's a video game movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a really good pick, actually.
But
I just hope that he's got the chops for action. I know in the trailer it does look quite good, but...
I don't know if they'd have to get in like a stunt double to do a lot of it, because that might take me out of it a bit. Because
yeah, it cuts to like a 20-year-old like stuntman.
Because one of the reasons John Wick works so well is because you can clearly tell that it's Keanu Reeves doing all the action.
Yeah, and he went through like, I mean, everyone's seen all the like wholesome training videos in action. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, I do hope it's good. I feel like it will be like an entertaining film, but it won't necessarily be like a Taken, that like how Taken was back in the day. It was like super serious. This looks more fun.
Yeah, I think so.
So what was your first pick?
I think you already know what it is. It would be Space Jam 2: A New Legacy.
Yeah, baby, let's go!
I am genuinely pumped for that movie. I fucking love Space Jam. I genuinely really enjoy the first Space Jam.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Now the only downside is I forget the name of the director. I have Malcolm D. Lee. He's done a bunch of fucking trash. He did movies like Girls' Night, or Girls' Trip, whatever it's called. Night School, like a bunch of like really like dumb, cringy like black comedies or African American comedies. Sorry.
But is Kevin Hart in Space Jam 2?
I don't think so. I have a list of a lot of the people on it, and it's. I want to go through some of the cast.
Okay.
They have a bunch of like genuinely like really good like NBA players, like really popular ones. But like just in terms of actors, they've got Jim Carrey, Michael B. Jordan, Don Cheadle, Steve Harvey,
what?
Chris McDonald, the guy
wait, what?
Steve Harvey. Don't know who he plays. But he's in the casting list.
He will be himself.
I think so. Chris McDonald, who was the guy Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
From Happy Gilmore, the guy who says he eats his own shit for breakfast. Lawrence Fishburne and Gary Oldman.
That's awesome.
Like, that's an awesome cast for a fucking Space Jam sequel.
That's really cool, actually. I wonder how much money they shelled out
so
to get
much.
all these people.
So much money.
Is Wayne Knight in it?
I couldn't find him.
Oh.
That's not to say he's not going to be in it, but he wasn't. He definitely wasn't high up on the casting list.
If he doesn't come out of a fucking spaceship,
ladies and gentlemen.
I believe I can fly. Are they gonna have like R. Kelly like redo from prison, redo the any of the soundtrack? Do you think? Do you think he'll make a new song?
It was just like randomly. It'll play one of his songs, and it'll just randomly cut to him singing it while he's in prison. Like totally out of context, doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Oh.
But God, I've taken up a lot of time with my list.
No, it's all right. I've enjoyed your list.
Oh, wait. Sorry,
Right.
I forgot my biggest honorable mention, which is really the only one I care about, is a movie called The Little Things
Ah.
with Denzel Washington and Rami Malek. Looks really
I
cool.
think I saw a trailer. Did the trailer for that come out recently?
Yeah, it came out not long ago.
Yeah, I think I saw it. That does look quite cool, actually.
That kind of it looks like almost a David Fincher movie.
Mm.
The guy who did it, he's done some really cool stuff. Like the guy directed Blindside, Saving Mr. Banks, which I love that movie.
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
The Founder, stuff like that.
So it'll be a really good like character study kind of piece.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, awesome. I feel like my choices are much more like more. I'm not necessarily excited because I think they'll be good. I'm excited because I'm intrigued as to how much of a dumpster fire they may be.
Okay, I can respect that.
But Green Knight was probably my number one as a serious pick.
An actual serious pick, sure.
3. See, I'm looking at a bunch of them. 3, I wanted to pick the French Dispatch,
Okay.
the Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
His next one. I saw like a written interview of him where he's literally, someone asked him what is the plot of this film, and he's like, I genuinely can't tell you because it's so confusing. For Wes Anderson to say that about his own movie, he literally was like, you won't get it.
That's
You
pretty
have to
dope,
watch
to
it.
be honest.
I'm so excited to see, like, the only thing with it though is that from the trailer it is just aping on the Budapest Hotel vibe, which I feel like he's getting into kind of too much of a,
But
I don't know.
I mean, like his stuff, like The Life Aquatic, is kind of more interesting than Grand Budapest Hotel. I think, even though people love Grand Budapest Hotel just because it's so like visually striking.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't necessarily say the plot of it is that great, or like
I
the
feel like no one
story.
could tell you what the plot of that film was.
No.
But it's just like, I feel like people in that, because when people say Wes Anderson is, or like, oh, his kind of things that he puts in his films, people just now go to like his like aesthetic and cinematography and the set, the miniatures. It's like, well, no, that's not really, like, his characters were what make his films special.
I think. Sorry. I think the best example of like a really good combination of those is Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
Like that's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, where the whole film is like, because the whole film is in a style like,
Yeah.
it then means that you just end up listening to what the characters are talking about. Moonrise Kingdom is another good example where, like, visually it kind of, there isn't miniatures and stuff like that, but it's very simplistic and almost like, I don't know, it's really modern, like modernistic. It's quite cool, but I'm just excited for this. I don't know if this, imagine anyone going to a cinema to see The French Dispatch
No.
this year, but I don't know. Fuck it. I guess we'll find out.
Yep. That'll be a very interesting watch, I think. Like, regardless of whether it's actually good or not.
Yeah. I know a lot of people. I did like Isle of Dogs, but I didn't think it was as strong as I thought it was going to be. But, oh well.
It's fair.
And my second, this is really weird because I'm ending on my second anticipated film.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do what you did. I've got a tie, really, for 2 of these.
Okay.
Quiet Place 2.
Ugh.
Because I just want a good light action horror thriller film. And from the trailer,
I mean,
the fact that they've got like Cillian Murphy in it and shit like that.
I mean, it'll be that. It'll be just like a decent action horror movie.
I think I was just so annoyed because I actually like was gonna go and see it. It was like 3 or 4 days out from release last year, and then they pulled it.
Yeah.
And now it's coming out in April.
Damn.
But it from the trailer, it looks like they're actually deepening the lore of. If we were saying that like John Wick 1 is super simple, John Wick 2 and 3 really go in detail in the backstory of the world. This one looks like it's really going into the hidden layers of what's going on, almost like there are like Last of Us kind of vibes, like factions and
Yeah.
like people doing like horrible shit. So I'm kind of intrigued by it. It probably will just be just a solid, entertaining romp, I imagine. But
Yeah. I think that's fair. I mean, I do enjoy the first Quiet Place, like for the concept of it. It's
yeah,
kind of ruined a bit, but at least at some points in the movie, I think.
yeah.
But as a whole, it's pretty good.
That's the thing. It wasn't too overdrawn. It was literally like an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
The characters had really simple arcs. They had all development. It's like, and you're done. But
Yeah.
so, and my other one that I was tied for was Raya and the Last Dragon,
Oh yeah.
which I know it's a kiddie film, but it's by the same directors and writers as Moana, and my God, I love Moana.
Mono's great.
So I think the art style looks really cool. It looks like you know how people say Toy Story grows up with its viewers.
Yeah.
Like when I came out, that's not a good sentence.
Don't say it like that.
When I saw Toy Story 1, I was like brain dead and didn't really have an idea what I was looking, but it was good animation and colors, and I was a baby brain, so whatever. Toy Story 2, I was a bit older and I understood the themes of it more. Toy Story 3 came out when I was in Andy's position, and then Toy Story 4 doesn't really have that, honestly. It doesn't really have that change.
No.
But this is like Moana is more for the younger girls wanting to find out who they are, and it had that was the theme of it. Whereas Raya and the Last Dragon seems a lot more about like it's like the next evolution of what Moana would be, like responsibility and more darker themes and shit.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a cool idea, but it depends on if they actually demonstrate and show that in the movie.
Yeah. Well, at some point we're talking about where Disney films don't commit to shit. We'll talk about Soul if you ever watch it, but it's got the biggest like cock block of a film like I've ever seen. But yeah, so there were my picks. Honorable mentions. There's quite a few like June. They are so committed to releasing that film in cinemas, and I just think that's a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I
want to see it in cinema, but
it's just gonna sit on a shelf though for so long.
Yeah.
That like it. I don't know. It's just not gonna be a big deal when it finally does come out. It'll just be this thing that happens to be coming out, kind of like that new James Bond movie.
Yeah.
People were really hyped about it when it was supposed to come out, but it's been waiting so long, no one gives a shit about it anymore.
I think that's the issue, isn't it? Like, so now, I know a lot of the rumors for James Bond were that like the end of it would be that the woman character in it is taking up the mantle, and then the next film would probably be called 007, and it would be her, or it will be like something like that. But now, yeah, people's appetite are just going to be so dry; they aren't going to want to wait for the next one anyway. And I feel like that's going to happen with Dune because Denis Villeneuve seemed to have this idea of like, this is the first one, and then there's going to be 2 more.
Yeah.
But I feel like the curse of Dune, this is going to come out. It'll be probably fantastic, but no one will give a shit. It won't make any money, and it will just be lost to time.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And David Lynch will be like,
yes. You see. I know. I mean, didn't he? Yeah, doesn't David Lynch even say though, like, Dune is one of those cursed things that you can't make into a movie?
Yeah, and maybe he'll be right, but
I mean, he tried, and I have some other.
I like it, but it sucks.
Yeah, I think that's about right with it. I have some other stuff I wanted to mention.
Yeah, go for it.
I am kind of excited for the Snyder Cut. Just like, I have to, because I have to know.
Everyone in the world has to know about this film. I will show this film to like dying grandmothers as they're passing away. Like, you have to witness this. I don't care. I mean, in all honesty, without trying to be funny, do you think it will be good?
Yes.
What? No! That was the wrong answer. I know it's your opinion.
I am going to sit down when it comes out. I'm going to sit down. I'm just going to like book an entire like night just to watch the Snyder Cut, because I have to know that it's better than what it came out. It has to be. It has to be better than what we got. Doesn't have to be great, but it has to be better.
Don't you think it's just such a lost cause now, though?
No.
Like, I feel like WB probably put money into this because A, fans want it, but also they were probably like, whatever money that we spend on this, Wonder Woman will make up for. And then people hate Wonder Woman.
And they're not making any money from it, really. I mean, yeah, I suppose, but like it is a lost cause in a sense. But it's something
seems like this is Zack Snyder's midlife crisis.
Yeah. But I mean, that's true, but like obviously I think it's more to do with the specific things that went on during the making of Justice League, that now that that's all sort of past, it's something that Zack Snyder can actually work on and like make it what he wanted. The problem is he's working with a combination of stuff that he didn't really do himself, so it's kind of this weird mess. It's going to be a beautiful mess.
It is a beautiful mess. That's the problem. That's the problem and the solution. This film has to be so bad that it's fucking hilarious, or because it can't be serious, because no one likes that about any of his films.
No.
In this universe. The thing is, like, all I keep seeing on Twitter every day is hashtag release the Snyder Cut, hashtag protect the Snyder Cut, and it's these people putting up pictures of the worst CGI shots from the new trailer, being like, "Oh Lord, yes," and like thirsting over Zack Snyder, like this is the savior, and like, or like, a lot of them are like, "Ha, MCU, get ready for the Snyder Cut." Oh,
No.
fuck me!
That's so. It's horribly cringy and wrong, but it's very funny to me.
That's why I'm really anticipating it, just because it's going to be hilarious, and I really hope that there is a scene in the film where it's to the slow, epic version, orchestral version of Hallelujah, like the trailer is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But 4 hours, man.
4 hours. That's a big movie. It's like longer than any of the like extended versions of the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, like
we'll watch it together. Because I do want to watch it. We'll have to marathon it. We'll have to watch it together.
Yeah.
But,
Aren't they doing it in like parts or something?
Oh yeah.
Like you can just watch it as a whole, but it will be like segmented into like 2 or 3 bits.
I want to watch it as as God intended it.
In one sitting.
In one sitting. One bathroom break. One sitting.
I hope they put a like version on it where you can just watch it without any of like the sort of intermissions almost. It just like cuts straight forward.
Oh yeah. I thought you were gonna say. I don't know why they would do this. But I hope they have a.
Wait, say that again. You cut out.
I thought you were gonna say you hoped that they added a version. They were gonna add a version where it's like you can watch it without any of the VFX added.
That would be even better, to be honest. I would love that. I want them to do that version of Call of the Wild, the weird Harrison Ford dog movie.
I was going to bring that up. I'm so glad you talked about that. All the shots of that film behind the scenes.
That's so funny. They're amazing.
What makes me laugh even more is that this is Harrison goddamn Ford, the
like-
person who hates movies anyway. He hates his old character. He despises being in anything. He has like a $15 million paycheck for being in one scene in Rise of the Skywalker, but he's in Call of the Wild.
That's a horrible like hodgepodge of like a movie. Like it's so bizarre.
Just use a real fucking dog. Marley
You
and me did it.
You can train dogs to do shit. But why'd they have to get a guy in a fucking blue screen suit walking on stilts, like pretending to lick people and shit? Like it's
Oh, the bit, yeah, like the behind the scenes footage where it's like Harrison Ford's like, "You've done good, boy," and this guy's like,
yeah. I would, but like, as horrible as that would be, I would genuinely pay to watch that,
"Yeah."
like that version of the
Without
movie.
any of yeah.
Then-
Oh, that'd be so good.
Before we end our little movie thing, I wanted to talk about some movies that I'm not excited for. I don't know if you
Oh, I
have
had
any.
some of them too.
Okay, good.
Go on.
My first one, and you already know what it is. Uncharted.
Ooh, I didn't even put that down. I think I just didn't even think about it.
So, for everyone watching, the Uncharted games are probably my favorite game franchise of all time. Like, I Uncharted 3 and 2 are like particularly amazing. And they should not make it into a movie. It's gonna suck. Like even
I feel like it's just going to be so borderline serviceable.
yeah, it'll be
It'll just be
exactly
so generic.
like that fucking Tomb Raider movie that came out. Like it wasn't bad, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like exponential in any way.
And they took like because that Tomb Raider film took like the hollowed version of the plot from the first game,
Yeah,
and that was it. That's all they did. They literally took the idea of what it was about, and then kind of rushed it into a girl survives on island job.
yeah.
This will just be some quippy action, no stakes, cheesy powered women that are not Elena or Chloe, although I think Chloe's in it, but she's like 12 years old.
It's stupid. It's not who the characters are. I hate that Sony are doing this, and that they said that they wanted to have like, didn't they say they wanted to have like 10 something movies and shows in production by the end of the year based on games? Just let games be games.
I know. It's like trying to justify it's like trying to show people who don't believe games are like as advanced or as good as they are now, holding the screen up to them and being like, no, see, look, games are real. Like, games
Yeah.
are good. You don't need to justify it. If they're not interested in it, then try and get them into it by selling your soul to the devil.
Yeah, like people, if you don't like games, you're not going to like. Just let them be their own thing. Yeah.
I feel like it might be entertaining to watch, but it will be so forgettable. But
Yeah, maybe.
and it will sequel bait at the end.
Oh,
No reason.
100%. And just also, like, the Nathan Drake is one of the, to me, he's one of those characters who he can't be anyone other than Nolan North.
Yeah.
Like, he's so...
Aside from... Sorry, go on.
Oh, I know what you were going to say.
Did you see that short film?
Yeah.
With Nathan Fillion?
Yeah, I
That
did.
was great.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
I-
they wouldn't do that.
I think someone actually better would have been, like, Pedro Pascal or, like, that type of... Like, a bit older, but, like... I don't know. He shouldn't be a young...
I feel like Pedro Pascal would be a great Sully. Like, midlife Sully.
Yeah, you know what?
His
Like,
mustache and shit.
yeah, Sully how he's in, like, Uncharted 3 in, like, the flashback scenes.
Yeah.
Like, perfect.
And the problem is, like, I feel like Tom Holland probably could do a really good job as a young Drake, but
Yeah,
no doubt they've written him as Peter Parker. So
100%. It's going to be... Because in the games, we only ever see Nathan Drake when he's, like... like, 16, and then when he's, like, 30 through to his, like, 40s.
yeah,
Like, they're going to write him as, like, you know, a 19-year-old, basically Peter Parker. There's, like, no serious part to his character. He's just that quippy kind of dickhead.
Do you think? I also think they'll make him. He'll do like film references from the 80s or like 90s,
Yep.
even though Nathan Drake didn't really give a shit about any of that.
No, like they even take the piss out of that in the fourth one when he's playing
Yeah.
like Crash Bandicoot, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This is stupid."
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, I'm just dreading that because then I don't want heard of the game to watch that and be like,
Oh,
well, that was fucking shit. Oh, and there's a game about this. So I bet that's shit. It's like,
yeah. But I also
Um,
don't. I don't want it to be good, but be like totally different to the movies, so people think that that's what the games are.
yeah. I feel like they're in a lose-lose situation though because like I feel like we wouldn't like it either way.
No, I'll admit that I probably won't like it regardless.
No. What
But-
we'll do, we'll have to do like a live. We'll have to like literally react our like do our first reactions to the trailer when that comes out.
Yeah.
But
Right. Go on with
I had-
yours.
so I had a few. There's like shit like okay, Matrix 4.
I've got that here as well.
I mean, you cannot evolve the story or the world of Matrix now without it already being done by things like Black Mirror and shit like that has taken place in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
It'll, no matter what, it'll feel absolutely outdated.
Yeah, I mean, another like lose-lose situation, I think. I'm personally not like a huge fan of the Matrix movies anyway. Like they're just not
I
my
love
sort of
the
thing.
first one, but
Yeah.
get to it.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a question of why. This doesn't need to be made.
If this had been a thing that like the Wachowskis had like dreamt about doing, maybe they had written this like 10 years ago, I could maybe see it being like, okay, they have a reason, maybe they've got something to say. But they're not those kind of filmmakers. Like all they've done is shit since Matrix.
What have
Cloud
they
Atlas,
Oh.
Jupiter Ascending.
They did
I
that?
mean-
That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. And I
Wow.
feel like I don't want to get on this train again, but they're gonna film as an entire like gender politics thing.
It's because
Because
they're
they're
the
both men now, or women. They're both
no,
women.
they're women now. They were the Wachowski brothers. They're now the Wachowski sisters.
How it started, how it's going.
What are the odds of that? I mean, are they? I don't know. Are they twins or are they just brothers? Or were?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
But
But I mean, if they can evolve the story in a way that makes sense, like bringing Neo out of retirement or whatever the fuck's going on, like fine. But guess we'll
Yeah.
see. Although I feel like that's going to get delayed out of this year. There's no way that film is coming out the end of this year.
no.
But what else did you have?
I wrote down here just like anything Marvel are doing now. I just
Yeah.
don't care. I don't really want to expand on it.
I do want to put a preface on that. I am still looking forward to watching Black Widow, only because I know that apparently they're bringing it to like Plus.
Oh, okay.
And I love Scarlett Johansson. I think she's great as Black Widow, but I just see it looked quite cool from the trailer, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, I haven't been in love with a Marvel movie since like the first Avengers. Like
Yeah.
maybe like the first Guardians of the Galaxy as well. Like they've all been like a lot of them have at least have been really good, but they just don't feel special anymore.
Yeah, they're just copy and paste. Now.
Like a first Avengers movie was like a spectacle when that came out, and now they're just really dry, I think.
Yeah, Infinity War and Endgame, they're probably the outliers. I mean, they're still. That's just like those films are just like a reward for sitting through years of those films.
Yeah.
Not necessarily amazing films themselves. They have amazing moments, but they're not like masterpieces.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to anything. Like, I'm intrigued by the shows, I suppose, like WandaVision and shit like that, but I don't care about those. In fact, WandaVision, I didn't care about either of those characters, but I'm interested in that more than the films. that are
Yeah.
coming.
I mean, they were the two worst characters out of all of them. Like, let's be
Yeah,
real.
exactly. Ugh,
Um,
they were the cringy ones.
Yeah.
Well, Vision wasn't, but
Vision was
fuck me.
Vision was fine, but again, he doesn't really do much.
He becomes alive and then he dies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I had Godzilla versus Monkey.
Really? You're not interested to see that?
I hate all those films. I liked the first Godzilla remake when that came out because it was it was too long for a start, and they fucked over Bryan Cranston. But
yeah,
the way that they depicted Godzilla in that film made him genuinely terrifying when he needed to be.
yeah.
Like the POV shots and then shit going on the TV in the back.
Well, because that movie to me, rather than a monster movie, it was made like a disaster movie.
Yeah, the characters are dealing with the situation around it.
Yeah, which I think made it work a lot better.
Yeah, whereas Kong Skull Island is just a goofy, dumb, stupid film, but it's fun.
Yeah,
and then Godzilla versus the Monster Men, or whatever it was called, the Monster Mash.
Godzilla King of Monsters.
That's it. Again, they did what everyone hated about Godzilla 1 even more.
Yeah, like they took away the parts that people actually liked about it.
It's like, oh, here's him fighting these amazing creatures, but it's shaky cam, it's zoomed in, and it lasts for 2 seconds, and then here are these really bad characters. All I want for Godzilla versus Monkey is literally no humans in it.
No humans, just that. Or that. Yeah, that's all people want. We just want fighting monsters.
Yeah.
I don't know what's so hard for these studios to get about that.
I know. It's because they think they need stars to build a film. You've got 2 of the biggest Hollywood stars in the world ever. Yeah. Godzilla
and King Kong. Monkey. And Big Monkey Man. Like, it's not that hard.
No. The only thing is, as well, I'm also excited to see it because I think it will be awful. Because I think I said this to you. There was a shot from the trailer that was shown at Comic-Con like 2 years ago, where Godzilla is in the ocean and King Kong is stood on an aircraft carrier, right? And then Godzilla puts his foot and stands on the aircraft carrier with King Kong. Godzilla in the films is apparently supposed to weigh like 10 trillion tons.
Well, yeah,
but he's on a float on an aircraft
he's fucking
carrier
hundreds of feet tall.
Yeah, but it's like you can't really pull these films apart for logic, I suppose.
No, I mean, but that would work even better if the logic did make sense. And as he say, if it was like a really tense scene, if he climbed up onto it and it like started pulling it down underwater and shit like that, that'd make it even cooler, I think.
Yeah, or if they went so far with the realisticness that the second he stands on land, his bone density just demolishes and he dies.
That's what's great about Shin Godzilla, because it kind of like like he's just like literally flopping around, like pushing himself around, like it's cool.
Unless you had much more.
I'll just quickly blast through these. Suicide Squad. I'm not that, like, out of any of the superhero movies coming out this year, that's the only one I would go see.
I generally think the fact that it seems like WB are like scrapping their movie plans with these characters, and James Gunn saying he's been given like carte blanche to do whatever the fuck he wants. I think he's gonna kill off every single one of them.
Yeah. Well, that's like the idea of the fucking Suicide Squad.
Exactly. I generally think he's going to do it because they're not using these characters again.
From the trailers, he's intentionally made them like really stupid and schlocky.
Yeah.
Like, so you know that's what's going to happen with it. But yeah. And Free Guy. I think that movie looks terrible.
That movie looks fucking atrocious, and Jacksepticeye's in it. So
yeah.
There we go.
Is it true that Moist Critical apparently was asked to be in it? Because he said about that. Because he said that in a video, but I have no idea if he's being serious or not.
Apparently, he was actually approached to star in it.
Yeah.
but
But,
he said that he didn't want to do it.
I mean, I've got to respect him for that. Like,
That's a baller move.
he would have been paid so much money,
Yeah.
but he's like, no, I'm not gonna fucking do this stupid ass movie. Yeah, that's pretty much it from me. If you had anything else.
I was gonna say the last one was Spider-Man 3, but I don't see that coming out this year
It won't.
because they wrapped filming recently, very recent. No way this film's gonna be coming out 2021.
No, it's a movie that's built on its effects. So
Yeah,
it's
especially this one, if whatever they're doing with it. But
yeah.
yeah,
So
I'm just looking through the free guy IMDb just to see if there's any other cringy YouTubers in it.
but like someone like Mr. Beast or someone like that's gonna be in it.
Probably. But I think there could be
Pokimane.
someone like
Pokimane's in it. Is I bet.
Belle Delphine. Oh, I can't really find it. It doesn't really. There isn't much to the cast list, so maybe they're keeping it under wraps. I don't care. Yeah, I suppose that was our anticipated. We're probably gonna have to do a gaming one in a different video.
Yeah, well, yeah, because this has been nearly 50 minutes long. So
Yeah,
Alright,
so yeah,
if-
that's it.
if you disagree with us, you think our opinions are stupid, please leave them in the comments. Please report
comment. Please dislike if you genuinely dislike it.
and please
us.
actually report our channel for
Yes, please.
this,
We
please.
already need another
If
community
you
guideline strike. Yes.
yes, for having Black Kid in the title. It's still mad.
I love how I think one of the things said potentially misleading title.
It's not
What's
misleading.
misleading about that? Black kid gets slapped and basically dies.
I'm still so proud of that video. I can't believe that they would pull
should
that
be.
type of shit.
But it got someone in the because someone in the comments put this is offensive.
It's like,
Or
I
this
saw
is
that
racist.
other
And
people
how?
replied to it. I was like, yeah, like how?
And I guarantee that they probably reported it for child abuse.
Probably.
Fuck it.
I don't
Oh,
know.
well.
All right.
There's actual real abuse on YouTube anyway, and
There are
YouTube
people-
doesn't do anything.
There's
about
people jelking their cocks on YouTube, and they don't do anything about it.
it. Yeah.
So fuck you, YouTube.
Yeah. Fuck YouTube. Anyway, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like
Yeah.
and comment. All right, thanks.
Ah.